Ever get that sinking feeling in your gut that you're not actually a friend to someone, but just a convenient tool? In a world where everyone is chasing leverage, emotional and material exploitation is happening right under your nose. The scariest part? It's rarely loud. It's a quiet, slow drain on your energy, your wallet, and your sanity. If you've been feeling exhausted after interacting with someone lately, you aren't paranoid. You're likely being engineered. Let's stop making excuses for them and look at the brutal reality. Here are 9 unmistakable signs that someone is completely using you. The most glaring giveaway is that your entire relationship operates on their timeline. You only exist when they have a void to fill, a ride to catch, or a bill they don't want to pay. Think about it. When was the last time they texted you just to ask how your week was, without following it up with a favor? People who use you treat you like a vending machine. They only approach you when they want to put a coin in and get something out. When you reach out just to connect, you get hit with radio silence, late replies, or dry, one-word answers. But the moment they need an emergency venting session at 2 a.m. or a last-minute favor, they expect you to drop everything and play the savior. This ties directly into the devastating imbalance of conversational narcissism. When you do hang out, the dialogue is completely hijacked. You spend hours listening to their career drama, their toxic relationship issues, and their endless complaints. You play the unpaid therapist, absorbing all their negative energy. But the second you try to share a piece of your own life, whether it's a big win or a heavy loss, watch how fast their eyes glaze over. They will find a way to pivot the conversation back to themselves within 30 seconds, or worse, completely minimize your feelings by saying something like, "Well, at least you don't have to deal with what I'm going through." They don't value your voice. They just value having an audience. As you spend more time around this person, pay close attention to your own energy levels. Your body often recognizes a predator before your mind does. If you leave every interaction feeling completely depleted, anxious, or questioning your own self-worth, that is a massive red flag. Healthy relationships are supposed to be an exchange of energy, a mutual charging station. When someone is using you, they act as an emotional vampire. They leave you feeling hollow because they take your optimism, your time, and your support, offering absolutely nothing in return. You aren't energized by their company. You are relieved when it's over. Another undeniable sign is that their appreciation is strictly tied to your utility. They love what you do, not who you are. You'll notice they shower you with affection, compliments, and attention only when you are actively delivering a service. They'll call you their favorite person right after you help them move apartments or lend them money. But that warmth evaporates the moment you aren't useful. If you want to test this theory, try setting a firm boundary. Say no to their next request. A genuine friend will understand and respect your limits. A person who is using you will immediately flip the script, turning cold, distant, or aggressively guilt-tripping you, because you just broke the only mechanism they valued you for. This leads to a deeply manipulative tactic, the transactional ledger they keep in their head. Even though they take 90% of the time, they will fiercely overinflate the value of the 10% they give back. If they do you a single, tiny favor, they will hang it over your head for months. They will use that one nice thing they did as a shield against any criticism or as a weapon to demand bigger favors down the line. It's a classic corporate-style manipulation strategy designed to keep you feeling indebted, making sure you never feel like you've done enough to even the score. Furthermore, look at how they treat you when the stakes are low versus when the spotlight is on. People who use you are notorious for practicing selective loyalty. They are incredibly close to you behind closed doors when they need a confidant or a helping hand. But the moment you are in a social setting with higher status people, or people they are trying to impress, they will suddenly distance themselves from you. They might even make you the butt of the joke to elevate their own social standing. You are essentially their dirty little secret, good enough to solve their problems in private, but not shiny enough to be acknowledged in public. You also need to look at the severe lack of reciprocity in your history together. Relationships don't need to be a strict 50-50 split every single day, but over time, the scale should balance out. With a user, the scale is permanently broken. You are the one driving across town. You are the one picking up the check with a vague promise of, "I'll Venmo you later." That never happens. And you are the one putting in the emotional labor to keep the connection alive. If you stopped initiating contact, stopped planning hangouts, and stopped offering help, the relationship would wither away and die within a week. You are solo parenting a friendship. When you finally pull up the courage to confront them about this imbalance, watch their reaction very closely. Someone who genuinely cares about you will be devastated to hear that they've hurt you. They will listen, apologize, and adjust their behavior. A user, however, will immediately weaponize gaslighting. They will rewrite history, tell you that you're being too sensitive, or accuse you of keeping score. They might even play the ultimate victim, twisting the narrative so that you end up apologizing to them for bringing it up. This defensive smokescreen is a desperate attempt to protect their free ride. Finally, the ultimate sign is that they are entirely absent during your darkest hours. When you are going through a crisis, when your world is crashing down and you actually need a shoulder to cry on or practical help, they are nowhere to be found. They will suddenly become the busiest person on the planet. They will offer empty, generic platitudes over text like "praying for you," but will completely evade any actual effort to be there for you. Why? Because users don't do heavy lifting. They are only there for the sunny days, the free perks, and the good times. Stop letting people sit at your table who bring nothing but an appetite. Life is too short, and your energy is far too valuable to be wasted on people who view you as a stepping stone or a safety net. The moment you recognize these signs, you don't need a grand confrontation or a dramatic exit. You just need to quietly withdraw your investment. Stop volunteering your time. Stop answering the late-night texts, and start pouring all that wasted loyalty back into yourself. True connections lift you up. They don't bleed you dry. Let them go, and make room for the people who actually value your presence, not just your performance.